Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hankroom Gaming channel. Today we will be looking at Star Citizen Alpha 3.2 and the Eclipse Bomber more specifically. Now the Eclipse Bomber is as described by robotspaceindustries.com. The Aegis Eclipse is a bomber designed to get in and strike before it's even spotted. After extensive service with the UE, this high-tech military stalwart is making its debut on the civilian market in 2947. That is the year 2947. Now, what exactly is the Eclipse Bomber? Well, just looking at the specs, it has one pilot and it has 3 size 9 missiles mounted on it. Those are huge missiles. I believe the biggest size is size 10 for weapons. It only has 2 offensive cannons, and those are size 2s, which are pretty average. The fuel tanks and the quantum fuel tanks I don't think matter at this point because I couldn't test them, and the quantum drive is basically just a standard quantum drive. Right now you can reach anywhere in the system with it. I don't know how useful it will be in the live universe since I can't test it, and those are parameters they're going to tweak and modify anyway, so it's useless talking about them. So let's just check out how the ship performs in the alpha test universe. What does the alpha test universe mean? It means that it's the alpha test of the alpha builds. So this is something that's not released to the public. It is only available to a select group of people. Now that we're done with the previews and everything like that, let's check out the ship. Basically, let's look at the gameplay that I have recorded. I recorded it previously simply because if I try to record audio as I'm recording the video, it will be number 1 tedious, number 2 it will be more stuttery than it is right now. The frame rates are not perfect. I was getting maximum of 40, bottom out at about 6. Now 6 wasn't constant. The moment my system managed to catch up, it caught up basically and got up to 30, but between 30 and 40 is the frame rates you could expect on medium graphics with an i7 4790K at 4.3 gigahertz and a 1070 GTX overclocked 8 gigabytes of video memory. And I have 32 gigabytes of RAM on my computer, but that doesn't really matter. It never got up over what was it, 16, no, not 16%, 26-28% memory usage on my system. It was mainly using my processor about 50% of the time and my GPU 58% of the time. Nothing got too hot. I have liquid cooling, so that was fine. And over here I was struggling with my controls because this is my first launch into the public test universe. This is the test universe before the public universe, which is available to all backers. This is the testing center basically, and it's available to only a few people. Now, I didn't have to sign an NDA. I didn't have to agree to an NDA, but probably I did, and I just missed it. Either way, I've seen people take out pictures of the Eclipse, so I'm making a lot of pictures of the Eclipse. As you can see, the cockpit is something you would expect from Aegis Dynamic. Those guns are pretty cool, but they're too far apart to be useful against snub-nosed fighters and something like the Mustang. The Mustang is probably going to be able to dodge and weave in between of them. I cut out because I turned off my controls and I couldn't move the ship, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't move the ship, and I felt kind of embarrassed, so I cut it out. But now I'm telling you about it because, well, I'm sick that way. Now let's try to find a way to jump to the point. See, I got it. That's Yela, and the calibration is automatic. I don't have to hold anything down. The spool is automatic. I just have to press a button. And the jump happens after spooling up. I just have to hold down the same button. Easy as pie, if you figure it out. Obviously, this is an alpha game, so instructions don't really come with it. You can find people on the internet talking about it, but I prefer to figure things out on my own. That's the interesting part of an interesting game, figuring stuff out. And I tried to test the ping, and then I figured out, you know what? The mining suit is only available for miners, so that didn't happen. I am going to cut down the video over here because it is just a little bit too tedious getting down to a planet. I was being careful, maybe a little bit too careful. Maybe some other people do it faster. I don't like to do things fast and hard because I don't want to redo a 2-hour recording. I prefer to just cut the video because I can do that. It's my option. Alright, right now I will speed up the video a little bit. This is from space to planet to landing, uninterrupted, but I did have to cut it down because otherwise we'll be watching this for about 5 minutes. And this is going at quadruple speed. And as you can see, it's not that fast. Actually, you know what? This is not going at quadruple speed. I am checking out a battle here on the right. You will see the streaks. Maybe. And they're gone. Somebody was firing their guns in the distance, and that's what I caught. I caught it, and I tried to scan. Didn't pick up anything on radar. I'll try it again. Nope. They're way out of range. They're probably thousands of kilometers away. Tens of thousands of kilometers away, and I managed to see them. But I did catch a glimpse of them. I am still scanning and nothing's up. I don't know why I fired my guns. Probably just a click. Yep, I'm just firing my guns. Alright, let's get down to it. Let's get down to the landing. Still testing guns a little bit. Now the cockpit is pretty. It's pretty. I do like the cockpit. And the graphics in the game are pretty decent. There's the cut. And now we're going at quadruple speed. I'm sorry about the frame rates. They should smooth out momentarily once we get through the fast travel. As you can see, I'm flying over everything. There will be a small cut coming up. Again, this is just showing off the tech. This, I believe this is Yela. There we go. A little bit of cut. Jump cut. Getting past it. Still going quadruple speed. And we should get down to the planet in just a couple of minutes. In the meantime, I will talk about the ship just a little bit more. The ship basically is decent at flying. It is a little bit cumbersome to handle. I am using a mouse, but it is still a little bit too cumbersome in space, so you will not be dogfighting in this thing. Definitely requires support and backup. Probably a couple of sabers, maybe even a vanguard, just to be able to draw away any heavy fighters that are trying to attack it. Now we will be landing pretty soon. I am about to enter the atmosphere. Well, not the atmosphere, but the minimum distance required for my ground flight UI to pop up. Actually, HUD. It's a heads-up display. There it is, and we will glide down. As you notice, it's a lot different than Elite Dangerous is. Elite Dangerous requires finesse, well, not finesse, but requires a lot of steps before you actually manage to land on a planet. It's a little bit difficult and cumbersome. This is just, you go from space, point your ship at the planet, be careful with entering atmosphere. This is a moon, it doesn't have atmosphere, which is why you see my max safe speed on the left is 10,000 kilometers. 10,000 meters per second. That's ridiculous speeds, and you wouldn't be able to do them in atmosphere. Basically, you'll overload your shields and your ship, and you'll disintegrate. Current altitude is 13,000 meters. Everything is meters and meters per second. Now the thrust that is on the bottom left on the heads-up display in white, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is in. Is it in joules? I don't know. But otherwise, the planets and the moons are definitely high detail, and this is definitely not your average space simulation. Some people are complaining about the game taking too long to develop, and I think for something of this scale and this magnitude, it is understandable, though I would have preferred a smaller game to be developed quickly and then expanded upon. But I don't think Chris Roberts does anything small or tiny or just in case. So I guess this is just his development style. Make the big thing big and then make it bigger, instead of make the big thing smaller and then expand into it to fit into its own casing, basically. And there it is. I do like the look of the ship and the feel of the ship, but it does feel a little bit heavy with a mouse. I thought I should scan again. I figured, hey, you know what, maybe I'll try. Maybe I'll come up with some minerals or something like that in that rock over there. It looks nice and pretty and juicy if there's something in it. But it didn't have anything in it. There we go. You just hit tab to access your scanning equipment, your scanner, and then you just hold down the fire button, and it just charges up and fires off a pulse, a ping basically. And if anything returns, we just know that something is there, but we don't know what it is. Now, like I said, I don't have the mining suit on this one, so because it's not a mining ship. Why would you put a mining suite on a military ship? This is definitely just a bomber. It is nothing special, but it does look awesome. And we will get out of the ship and actually check out the ship on a nice lit moon. And that's why I actually landed here, because I wanted to be on the bright side of the moon and actually check stuff out. And I missed the exit. Showed me exit, but I missed clicking it. I just didn't notice it, actually. So now I'm just checking out where it usually is, right on the side, but it's right there, above the arrow. So if you saw it, I gotta say, there must be a better way of getting out of the ship other than jumping off and rolling, because that's a little bit dangerous. And there it is. As you can see, there's no curved surfaces on it. There's only straight lines, as a stealth fighter should be. What this does is it reflects radar waves in one particular direction, and that direction is not going to be always towards the radar. So it reduces the silhouette that the radar can see of the ship, basically. And that's a big deal in reducing your radar signature. Now, the other stuff is the paint, which currently is top secret for the US military and other militaries as well, obviously. But this thing is definitely a beautiful ship. Definitely a beautiful ship. If you're looking forward to it, it will be available soon. It is in concept right now, but as you can see, it's pretty much flight ready. Just checking out the sky. The graphics are amazing in this game. And since they managed to pull off a 10 frame per second increase since last time, that's basically a 33% increase in frame rates. And if they can pull it off 2 more times, we're done. I'll check out the gun. I bought a new gun just to shoot around in. And let's just check out the damage states on the plating. Now, these are variable damage states, but they're simulated as closely as possible without damaging performance too much. And as you can see, check it out. This is not smooth anymore. And there it is. As you can see, the damage shows up as damage, and it's actual bending of the metal, not just a decal, basically, that sticks to it. And let's get in and let's check out how it performs on a jump. This is pretty much it. This was the Aegis Eclipse bomber. This was my review of it. I will now fly back and land it back on, not Crusader, but I forgot the name of the dock. It's not Orion. Again, this is all in real time. I will just skip the boring parts, basically. Yeah, I don't know if I'm skipping anything here. Yes, I am. I did a cut. Here it is in flight with the boost on. Bit of a boost. There it is. It does look awesome in flight. As you probably can see, the sides where the landing gear comes out of fold up and then fold out in flight. They fold up in landing and fold out once you take off. It is all done with one button. You basically raise your landing gear and they fold out. You lower it and they fold in. There's the cut. I just cut out to where I'm nearly out of the atmosphere. As you can see, altitude is 3,000 meters, which is about 3 kilometers, which is about 2 miles. Just under 2 miles. 3.5 kilometers is actually up over 2 miles. So, just a little bit of a speed up, and we will be out of the atmosphere pretty quickly. There it is. Almost out. At about, I believe, 20,000 meters is when we will be out of the, not atmosphere. I keep calling it atmosphere, but it's not atmosphere. It's just the minimum distance from the planet where you have your landlocked navigation. Well, not landlocked. That's for boats. Ground navigation, I guess it will be. In gravity navigation. Heads up display when it has reference to the gravity. Obviously do something, and as you can see, it starts jumping up and down a little bit. I don't know if this is a bug or if it's intentional. We gotta talk to someone about that. There it is. 31,000 meters above ground is when it does that. And let's just lock into, yeah, I was at Yela and I will be going to Port Olisar. That's what the name is. Port Olisar. Around Crusader, which is the big gas giant that you're seeing over there on the map. And you will actually come into view in just a couple of seconds. I really want to go to that red nebula and figure out what is there, but I don't think we can make it that far. There it is. It automatically locks to your destination that you picked as your destination. Calibrates itself. Then you click the charging, the spooling. It spools up. Hold it down. Boom. And you are on your way. There it is. As per alpha gameplay, I do get a glitch. A tiny glitch here. When I contact Port Olisar to request landing. I'm too far out the first time I requested, but my system stored the request and sent it out the moment I was close enough, and then I sent out another one, and you will hear it overlap. One of them is cancellation, the other one is confirmation. I don't know which one came in first. But I did get a landing spot and landing arrow, so I landed on it, and it was fine. And they thanked me for the landing. There we go. As you can see, all the screens are interactive. All of them are interactive. Which basically means that you don't have to go into like some weird menu and do stuff that way. You do it all directly from the interactive buttons on your screens. And you can change the screens, what they have on them. There we go. I'm going to try landing somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm going to try landing somewhere. And you can see the 600i right in the right side. The big white ship. That's the 600i. Big, nice luxury boat. Pretty amazing. I don't know what it is. Landed over there on the bottom right. It looks like an Andromeda, but I'm not too sure. And there we go. Nice smooth landing. This works a lot better with a joystick. When I can feel the ship in my hand, oh my god, it's amazing. A lot of people are complaining about the flight model because right now it doesn't take weight into account a little bit too much. Is that the Retaliator? Nope, that's a Freelancer right on the right hand side. That's a Freelancer. All right. Yep, that's a freelancer. I recognize the cockpit anywhere. And that thing in front, I have no idea what it is. But it disappeared, so it doesn't matter. And now I'm just going to land. I can't get my keys to work properly, and my nose is too far down, so I'm not going to hit the platform properly, and then I'm going to mess up the throttle a little bit. I saw the lights, decided to go forward, forgot to stop going forward. There it is. Now we're parked. And slammed it on the ground like a noob. But that's pretty much it. Engine off. Power off. And there's the exit. Now I saw it. I knew I was looking at something. And there it is. And he's gonna jump off again. Yeah. If anybody from RSI is listening, give us a better exit. This is undignified. This reminds me of Kevin Hart jumping out of his truck. The joke about him jumping out of the truck when he hollered or something. At a girl, and she was like, "Hey, come over here." She jumped out of the truck. Oh my god, he has no knees. Yeah, that makes me laugh every single time. And that's basically what this guy does. Hey, nice ship, bro. Come here. Let's talk about it. Okay, just a moment. I gotta fall down on my face a little bit. I know it's cool. It's awesome, and it's quick. It's the quickest way to get out of the ship. But we do need 2 ways to get out of the ship, and that's pretty much it. There it is, sitting right there. She's a beauty, ain't she? Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time.